Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, we are talking about bank account bonus hunting and credit cards. Specifically, should we bring in crypto offers into the fold when we're going after these bonuses? After all, they do still pay money and it could be a valuable tool, but how do we tell which ones are worth it? Should I actually include them in my offers? And of course, better yet, does anyone want to see blog posts and videos about them? So that's today's conversation topic. So of course, that sounds interesting to you. Go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, if you're newer here, again, my goal is to take $10,000 from bank promotions, normally checking savings accounts, $5,000 from credit cards, $10,000 from referrals, and that mostly happens on Run on the Bank, which is the second channel, and ProfitableContent.com, which is the channel's blog. And I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years now, consistently hitting this number. But the thing you run into is it gets harder to do. You run out of offers that you can churn. Your check score, which is basically your credit report for opening deposit accounts, gets worse and worse shape, which means you get denied a lot more. Credit cards, you run out of credit cards to get. I've applied for so many credit cards last year in 2024 that in 2025 I probably won't be able to get approved for a mainstream credit card, which isn't really a complaint. It's just a fact of the matter. I don't regret any of those things because they all made me money, and I would do it again. But eventually, you're forced to kind of pause and wait for everything to cool down. But we have historically stayed away from certain offers. I have anyways, that I didn't like for whatever reason. So for example, the gaming offers on the gambling sites, it's not that I don't like those. I'm fine with gaming. It's really more so that we missed the window on those, right? The gaming ones, they want you to play through your bonus, which I'm not really interested in that, because then who knows how much I'm actually going to get when it's all said and done. The investment account ones, like the Weebles and the Moo-Moos of the world, because they're going to give you random shares. I want you, if we're trading information, I will sell you my information, but you got to tell me exactly how much I'm going to get. Not this guessing game of one person somewhere one time got a share of Tesla, right? I'm not really interested in that per se. And then, there are others, but then crypto, which is the main focus of this one, are also offers I've generally stayed away from. And the reason being on those is simply because I don't really understand the crypto game, why there's a zillion coins and what they're all worth. And I don't know how we got here. I did read the book or do the audio book on digital gold, which is like the Bitcoin backstory. So that part I'm fine with. But all the coins, I'm like, why did Haktua coin become a thing? And better yet, why is everyone surprised that it turned out to not be an actual thing? So as a result, I've typically stayed away from those. I haven't done any of those until recently. I did 2 offers, which we're going to talk about. And the reason being is if I still want this $10,000 number to keep going, well, you kind of might have to expand the horizons and bring some stuff into the fold. Now the offers we listed, the gaming, the investment ones, and crypto, this one's at least you can get cash equivalents fairly easily. It's still an extra step, but you can do it, as you'll see. So here are just my thoughts on it, and I'm more so interested in the audience thoughts as well. Like, do you want to see blog posts like this? Do you want to see videos like this on the second channel? Or, is it better left, just not mess with it at all? I could just be being too dramatic about it. So anyhow, yes, I did 2. The 2 that I did, we covered on the website and on the second channel, Wisdom Tree Prime and Gemini. So Wisdom Tree Prime got me into it because it was probably the most akin to a deposit account offer that we've seen in a while. And if you're unfamiliar, deposit account offers generally go with, hey, send a direct deposit over here for X amount of time, make some debit card transactions, deposit X amount of money, what have you, and we'll pay you your money in cash, right? That's generally how they go. Much like credit cards, just spend a certain amount, we'll give you your money. Wisdom Tree Prime in this offer, and I don't know if these are going on or not by the time you're watching this, but it was deposit $1,000 for 45 days, and we'll give you $100 in our made-up coin, right? And which is not ideal, but you don't have to buy any made-up coins. You just have, your $1,000 sitting over there, which again is pretty similar to the bonus structure we're used to. And then on top of that, to turn the coin they give you into people money was just one extra move, so not the worst thing in the world. Hasn't paid out yet at the time of taping, but I don't think anything would be wrong with it. Gemini, a little bit more adventurous, I guess you could say, because they didn't want you to buy $100 worth of crypto. Then they pay you out in a coin of your choosing at least. And of course, then you can then turn it into people money and cash out that way. So not too far departed from our normal structure. Really just the gist of it comes down to like, what the heck did I just buy, right, or get? Like, I don't really know. I could put more research into it. I just asked folks in my Discord group what they were buying, and that's what I did, just trusting strangers on the internet. So on the surface, they're not really that much different. There's a little bit of extra step and kind of annoying. So I think if you want to still keep going after this $10,000 number, it might be advantageous to bring them in, because we're still to seem like we're in the stage where they're still accepting people. There's no checks for crypto agencies that I know of, at least, right? As we're with gaming in that example, like I said in the beginning, we kind of missed the window on that. I'm not anti-gaming, but I don't want to deposit the money, you give me a bonus, but then I have to play through the bonus, which is totally fair, because of course they want you to use the money, not just take it and run. So it's not a complaint again, but the golden age over there is kind of over. But over here, we still could be catching it, and these still do pay out. Now, there's some things I don't know yet. Again, I've always said I don't really understand the coins we're getting into here. I don't know if there's any different tax implications. I know sometimes the taxes, with bonuses, I know, hey, they're going to give you 1099s. With crypto, I don't know if it more so aligns with brokerage accounts where, hey, there's selling and there's capital gains. I don't know how that works, or they're just going to 1099 you for the $75 in coins you got, in the case of Gemini, or 100 in the case of Wisdom Tree. I could probably look into that more, but overall don't know too much about that. But aside from that, it still kind of lines up more or less with how I treat the deposit game, because I know some folks like to say, hey, can you do a review on Bank of America or PNC on the second channel? But they're not really reviews, because I don't look into them beyond here's the instructions to get the money. I really don't do that. Sometimes I'll get asked, hey, why didn't you mention that you could put your money in this account? Because there's no money, so I didn't look into it, which is kind of lines up. And in the past, we've done some slightly variation offers, like Evergreen comes to mind, which is it wasn't a deposit account, it was a liquid treasuries account. They basically had you moving in and out of treasuries, or instead of just waiting for them to term, you could just move in and out, and they paid. We've done, a few other offers like that. Freck was one where you could do it's a brokerage account, but it's index investing, still somewhat out there. But I guess the main difference to me was they were still paying you out in people money, which is USD, versus these, what I'm calling fictitious coins that you then had to turn into money. But considering we never really hang out in those platforms that much too long, much past getting paid, does it really matter if they pay me out in basically Chuck E. Cheese tokens, and then I can go to the thing and get the prize and just be gone within a day or two anyways? It's kind of the same thing. So that has me leaning towards bringing them into the fold. Again, we just covered there's some things I don't know still. But now, interestingly enough, there's some things that they do that I do like that are better, at least right now, than our tried and true banks. So I wrote some of these down. The first one is technology by far. Now, this is hit or miss bank to bank, but Plaid, for example, Plaid or Plaid, however you want to say that, has newer features where, they're remembering all the accounts I've linked in the past, so I can put in my phone number to Plaid, get the two-factor authentication, and just link it that much faster. You don't see that at a lot of smaller credit unions and regional banks that we're hitting. I think I've seen it at some of the bigger banks, but not to that far. These platforms at least seem to be more tech focused. The referral programs are more welcoming. So a lot of times, most of the time, actually all the time, you're supposed to know the person you're referring, right? You're capped at 10 referrals or something like that. I'm supposed to know you. That's why if you ever run into issues with your referral, folks will email me like, hey, what was your name, or who's your channel member's name that I used their link for, because the bank's asking for that to confirm, because you're supposed to know the person. At least, again, I have a small sample size to draw from, but at least Gemini, their referral page is now, just drop it wherever you want. Put your referral link wherever you want. Put it on the internet. That's fine. And hey, look, if you're an influencer, which I don't love the word influencer, but I mean, that is the term, then hit us up and we can talk about getting you an actual affiliate link. Chime, Current, the neo fintech banks, no chance. Credit unions like Affinity and places like that, they've gotten more uptight where you have to prove you know me. So they seem, more welcoming. The funding piece was instant, which is a big deal because it means I can cut down the time on the requirements that much longer. With Gemini, the money was there instantly to do the investment. They have things like trackers, at least, where you will know for sure that you hit the bonus, for example. So their user interface, their tech platformness is a lot better. Those are some things I do like about them. I think the real hang up is just I don't know what these coins are worth. But again, I go back to, does it really matter if it's just a smash and grab and I'm turning them into dollars anyways? the last piece to figure out would just be like, what's the tax component of that, type deal. I know some folks can be bothered if you're putting in sizable amounts of money. Then I don't know that crypto accounts have any I'm positive they don't have any FDIC or SPIC insurance over there. So that could become an issue. The two that I've done have been just so low risk that I'm like, whatever, I'll dice roll on $75 or $100, not a big deal. I've done far riskier deposit bonuses by some random places we've never heard of. So, and the last thing I'll say is, as cryptos start to expand into other products, that opens up more avenue for more promotions. I know I'm looking into it. I know Gemini had a bad run as in the past, but going in there, my channel member's like, hey, they have a credit card. Sure enough, they do have a credit card. Spend $3,000, we'll give you $200 in crypto. And as someone who got so many credit cards last year in 2024, made $9,200 in credit card offers, I would feel safer applying for the Gemini card because I will probably get approved there, I would imagine, versus through Wells Fargo or Citi, who've already denied me this year, and it's still $200. So you can look at that as they start to expand products. There's more money to be had. The last big thing I think that's an annoyance of them is, again, it's a small sample size. But with Gemini, because they're the ones I had to trade with, they do charge account fees. Whereas a brokerage account, the majority of them that we do on bonuses do not charge anything. Is because trading's largely, since the Robinhood era has become free. There's this $75 bonus with Gemini, but there's a $3 fee. It'll probably be a $3 fee to pull the money to sell as well. So trading crypto is not quite there yet. I mean, it could be on other platforms. Again, a small sample size. Wisdom Tree could have charged fees. They just didn't require me to trade, so I don't know for sure. So I guess this is more so a sit down and just I was just thinking about this and I was like, well, we could just make this into a video and a good discussion. I could be simply being too much of a baby about crypto offers. Now, that's also not to say I would, start using them as platforms and investing money in there. Like that would take a lot more time and research. I'm going to leave it to, actual brokerage accounts, IRAs, real estate, things that I personally know a little bit better. This is not an anti-crypto rant by any means, but I'm anti, you shouldn't be anti. That's probably the better way to describe this rant. So where I'm falling at now is I think because nationwide offers are harder to come by, which is what I try to make videos on Run on the Bank. If it's easy enough, I'm going to probably just start to do a few more videos to see how people like them. Blog posts are pretty low effort because, if you don't like a blog post, you can just skip over it, not a big deal. So I'll probably still doing that, and I will probably still incorporate them. I'm going to incorporate them more into my yearly hunting strategy. I don't know if I'm yet going to do like the Gemini credit card. That's more so because I'm trying to see, get my credit card numbers down so then I can turn around and hit it hard in 2026. But I don't think I'd be opposed to it if I just think of it how I've thought about these other products, which is just, hey, it's a smash and grab. I'm only here for 90 days. Sure, it's one more step to turn your Chuck E. Cheese tokens into real money, but it's not that big of a deal. So I think that's where I'm landing. If you wanted to tell me it was hypocritical or something, I would totally get it. But I've been wrong in the past, and I think we've done a decent job of having videos where like, hey, I changed my mind on something. Here's why. And so I think I'm changing my mind on this because of where I'm at in the game, and I still want to earn the money, and it still seems to be a viable option. So I think I'm going to play with it a little bit more and see how it goes. But of course, you let me know your thoughts down below. That was the point of conversation videos, to get your input, especially for those of you who do frequent the second channel. I'll probably post a link to this video on the second channel so folks over there can watch it too. And of course, you want to check those out. Again, it's Run on the Bank and ProfitableContent.com. They're linked down below for you. We'd love to have you over there if you want to get on some bonus action. But anyways, guys, again, drop your opinions down below, but that'll do it for this one. So of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. So we're posting content just like this every single week. Of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that wasn't credit and finance. And of course, every single day over on ProfitableContent.com. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.